Baseball is a game about adjustments. In fact, you could say this for really any competitive sport game. One of our teachers in this endeavor to become better at this game, Miyamoto Musashi, again, 17th century swordman from Japan, samurai warrior who wrote the Book of Five Rings, outlining his philosophy of sword fighting, which he says could be used for anything. And so we're using it for this game. He says one of the early principles we took from his book was know the rhythms. Know both your rhythms and also know the rhythms of your opponent, that there's rhythm in everything. And you need to learn to recognize the rhythm. You need to recognize rhythms of extension and rhythms of decline. And you must, as best you can, disguise your own rhythm. You need a rhythm because a rhythm helps you naturally take the next step harmoniously, to do it fluidly, to be like water, to be like the sea. But as Miyamoto Musashi also says, when it's your opponent who is like the sea, you become the mountain. And when your opponent becomes the mountain, you become the sea. In yesterday's game, we had a great first inning of hitting. Scored 2 runs. I was hitting the ball hard. Hit a 2-run home run by Ted Simmons. And I remember thinking my opponent probably thinks I'm better than I actually am. But then, and I should have been more aware of this, my opponent made adjustments. He was seeing what I was doing early on wasn't working, so he made adjustments. And then I didn't score again until the 9th inning. Now, luckily for me, I feel like he was a better player than me, but I was still able to hold him to 2 runs. I had 2 runs, but the game was tied in the bottom of the 9th. And I wish I was more conscious of it, but I did actually in the 9th. I did make an adjustment. I did change strategies. It was more situational than me thinking about, okay, I'm going to change strategies now. But what happened, I got very lucky. The leadoff hitter, Adrian Beltre, struck out. But the pitch he struck out on was a wild pitch, and it got far enough away from the catcher where he made it to first safely. I wish that happened more often in this show. I don't feel like there's enough penalty for wild pitches in this game. Rarely do even runners get to move up a base. But this time it did work out in my favor. And he made it to first. And then I pinch ran with him because he was a winning run. Nobody out on first. I brought in, I think, Max Clark to pinch run, who's fast. And one of the ways I try to set up my opponent in that situation is he's obviously thinking, I want to steal, which I do. But I don't always do it immediately because I know there's another good chance he might pitch out. And I don't want to, I don't want to be so careless with that winning run at first. I just go immediately. I want to pick my time when I think it's the right time to actually try to steal. You might not find that right time and just have to do it anyways eventually, and it may not work out. It's baseball. But so that's one. It might pitch out and then I get a ball. Maybe I'm ahead in the count now. But the other thing I was trying to do is oftentimes in that scenario, you'll get a high fastball because at least in real baseball, I think it helps a little bit in this game. I don't know if it matters if it's high or not, but in real baseball, in real life baseball, a high fastball is a good pitch for the catcher to get into an advantageous position to throw to second base to try to get that base stealing runner. And of course, the faster the pitch, the better, because it just speeds up the process. And I notice in this game, rather than a pitch out, oftentimes the opponent will throw a high fastball. And so I was ready for that. And so I feel like I spun my own web there a little bit and hoping to get the high fastball. And the first pitch was a high fastball. And Kyle Tucker hit it over the fence in right field. And we had a walk-off win. But what I realized looking back at that is that was okay. I made an adjustment. As when Miyamoto Musashi says, when you are in the, what do you say, minute, when you're in the, in the trenches and you're just not making progress anymore, which after that first inning yesterday, I was not making any more progress. And I didn't become really conscious of it. I didn't really start thinking about, okay, what's he doing to me now that's being effective? I thought I was, just not executing well enough, which I wasn't, but I also wasn't making the adjustment. He found ways to get me out, and I wasn't conscious enough of it. But and I wasn't even really conscious of it in the ninth inning, just came naturally. But in that ninth inning, after I put the pinch runner on first, who's fast, the whole dynamics changed. And now we were in a new dynamic that we hadn't been in yet. And in that situation, I was setting him up to give me a high fastball that I would be ready for. And I was ready for it. You can be ready for it. It's baseball. This is the Tao of baseball. You could be ready for it and still not execute it properly. If you know what I mean. You could be ready for it, but it doesn't mean you're going to... You might even hit it hard, but it doesn't mean you're going to find success. You could still be out, It's baseball. All you could do is try to put yourself in the best position to win and see how it turns out. That's why we call it the Tao of baseball, because that's kind of like how life is. And like baseball and life, you also have to make adjustments. So we're 2-0 in this weekend classic, which is nice. I feel like both my opponents were actually better than me. You'll remember we flustered the first one and he quit, which was silly because I think maybe he wasn't flustered. Maybe he just had to go. We don't actually know his reality, but in our telling of the story, we flustered him. And it's very possible the way we did a couple of games ago, the way we sort of got into his mind when it came to base running. I'm hoping, because I think we're clustered up, and I don't think we continually play better and better players every time we win like you normally do in this game. I think we're clustered in a group for this weekend classic. So I would like to get a couple of opponents who that I might be a little better than. Doesn't mean I'll even win, because again, this is baseball. Best team loses 40% of the time, 35% of the time, and the worst team still wins 35 to 40% of the time. So that's just how baseball works. But these games so far have been, I guess, what the kids call sweaty. Shall we get into it? Now, I have done a lot of the warm-up before I even start this video. I warm up on breaking pitches. I warm up with a right-handed hitter. The thing I don't warm up, which could cost me a game, is I don't warm up pitching. And there is a technique to pitching. There is a technique to pitching that it would be good, actually, to warm up. with pitching. So I'm number 1 on the leaderboard. That's kind of nice. But I'm the only one on the leaderboard. And I only scored 5 runs. Well, remember the first game only went 2 innings. I don't even think I got a bat the second time in the first game. All right, let's do it. If we can win this game, oh, we'll get a chase pack. That would be nice. That would be nice. Let's go. Just got to remember to keep the mind still and try to remain empty. But think about things when necessary. Become conscious when you're struggling. Who do we got? Okay, so we've never done Walker Buehler today, but I did go and buy him. It wasn't that expensive. Let's see how it goes. We'll probably play a game again later today. I don't want to play games. Oh, Jake Arrieta, man. I hate facing Jake Arrieta. Oh, it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. Playing in the day. I don't like playing in the day. Wish I knew what his record was. His team overall is 89. Oh, my God. He's a 400 hitter. All right. You know what? I can't lose the game already just by looking at his average. We just got to go for it. One of the other lessons from Miyamoto Musashi is when you strike with conviction. You have to strike with conviction. So let's try to win this. That slider. This guy wanted to quit. I'd be happy about it. I wanted that chase pack. Let's see. Curve, slider, sinker. Okay. What do you got next for us, Jake Arrieta? There's the sinker. Is it going to fall? I think so. Nope. We need to take some pitches. Curveball. See, I wasn't even ready. I'm trying to see what his catcher. Oh, he's got a strong arm. So we will not be running against Gary Sanchez. We will not be running. High fastball. Too high, though. Get some pitches out of Jake Arrieta. We want to hit and run here? No. I think I want to take a pitch again. I think we just missed that. We just missed that. Another high fastball. See, he gets them high enough though. Nope. Man. You gotta be careful not to be too negative here because I feel like I'm already intimidated by this guy by his numbers. And I'm thinking I'm good enough to get the ball to the warning track. And that actually is probably true. But again, the mindset coming into this, let's see how good of a hitter he actually is. Everyone we played has had, oh, he's got even great players. Look at that. This guy's probably spent a lot of money. I don't know. I don't really know that's true or not. Let's go. See how good easy his windup is. Got lucky there. All right, so he did swing at the inside sinker, which is good. Good to know. He's late on the inside hard stuff. It's too bad. It should have been an out. I'd like to get this further on the inside, though. It's good. Rafael Devers. He's got all the great players. Ooh. Ooh. A little early. Really? It's all right. And he was late on it. Another one. Maybe we shouldn't have gone back-to-back outside pitches that way. Yeah, I feel like we're playing someone who shouldn't be at this level. Should have stuck with, oh, please don't bounce. Please catch it. Oh, my goodness. Now everything's going bad. We got a David Ortiz. Just is what it is. I got lucky there. All right. All right. We haven't lost yet. You just got to fight. Of course. Oh. So do I get a hit or is it an air? Yeah, it's a base hit. Should be a hit. Okay, let's think about this. It's a nice pitch. Oh my God. I thought that. I just got under. I don't know why his PCI so small for Jake Arrieta, though. That was a shame. That was a shame. That was my pitch right there. We got to get this guy to throw a bunch of pitches. No, my God. There was no one at first covering for. I should. How is that an out? How is that? Sorry. Should have been a home run. I don't know if that should have been a home run. Now I'm a little too swing happy. Why don't we make this guy throw some more pitches? No, I saw that. I saw that. Why did I swing at that? Oh. How did I miss that? Did he commit an error? I don't remember him committing an error. They didn't count the Beltre on the box score anyways. The Beltre hit is a hit, even though it said official score is a hit. This guy likes to hit bombs away, but that cutter is a good pitch. Oh man, he just takes it. Uh-oh. This might be a bad idea. Ooh, nice one. Oh man, I messed up on that one. I might regret this. He was early on it. That's close. A little early there, brother. How about we go to first? Good. Should we bunt with cool Papa Bell? Let's see what his defense looks like. See if we can see what his defense looks like. Phil Devers. David Ortiz. I feel like we could. Oh. Did I just watch 3 pitches go by? Did I just, well, it wasn't a terrible pitch. But it definitely hurts my chances of getting this guy to throw more pitches this inning. Hit it well, but not in the air. Man, that was a quick inning for him. At some point, I got to make some kind of an adjustment because I only feel comfortable throwing particular pitches. Like these outside pitches, he just hammers for home runs. Here's another one. Really wish we had a changeup. Yeah. I am missing with the PCI. Not the PCI, I'm sorry. I am missing with the pinpoint. I'm not placing the ball exactly where I want to. At some point, he's going to stop swinging. I'm trying to anticipate when. Oh, and then he gets a seeing eye single. It's a bad pitch, but he went for it. Do you need a breather? Did brother need a breather? So that last inning, we were not coming in with conviction. So does he anticipate me already making an adjustment, or does he still keep throwing strikes? He is definitely a strike thrower. so far. See what I mean? Now, are you going to keep throwing strikes? It's not ready for that. Oh, man. He's throwing me strikes. It's too bad. It's too bad. I did not get a single eye, a seeing eye single. All right. So now we have a runner on third with one out. Does he change tactics and start throwing balls? We should be ready for that first pitch, though. Oh, my God. Okay. Threw me a ball, but I got it. Threw me a ball, but I got it. Kyle Tucker must be a bad ball hitter because that home run he hit yesterday was a little bit out of the strike zone as well. Okay, there he started me off with a ball. Oh, that was a pitch to hit. Get through? It did. Wish my guy was a little faster. Oh, my God. Safe. Bad decision, brother. Should have took the shore out. Oh, man, I think I want to. I don't want to hit with De La Cruz. Damn it. Okay, we need to breathe here. Take a pitch. All right, I probably wasn't going to hit that pitch well anyways. Ooh, I think it's going to get through. Wow. That's pretty remarkable. We're going, brother. Why didn't he run? Have to make contact. Oh, I was running. That's great. That is so great. I don't know how that worked out in my favor, but we are going. Did I swing? What's the count? 2 strikes. Okay. All right, we need to calm down. Swinging at bad pitches now. He's throwing him in the dirt, and I just keep swinging. I'm a little nervous all of a sudden. I am nervous all of a sudden. Oh, my God. I hit that one hard. If I could have went up 7-3. See, I don't like being in the lead this way because this guy's clearly better than me. I don't like this at all. Because I know he's coming back. We're only in the 4th inning. Damn. That was a hard play. That was a hard play. And if he's going to keep swinging at that, we're going to keep throwing it. He needs to make an adjustment. He's already scored 3 runs, so he knows how to hit, but I shouldn't bail him out. A little too close to the strike zone there. I would like this to be out of the strike zone. Damn it. It was. It's where I wanted it. Gary Sanchez got a lot of power. It's a bad pitch. Good pitch. It's going to be a long game. I just want the game over. Is this guy going to keep throwing strikes? I think that's his flaw. He throws too many strikes, which I hate to say. Victory. Look at that. Look at his rating. See, I achieved. I won JD Martinez. That's something to look. I have played 3 players so far, all better than me. But with the influence of our teacher, Miyamoto Musashi, we flustered him. We have flustered each of our opponents. So I don't know if the previous opponent we actually flustered, but we set him up in the 9th. We set him up. We ambushed him. We got him to throw us a high fastball that we were looking for. This one, I feel like we've won 2 of our 3 games after the opponent quit. And that doesn't lessen it, because when the opponent quits, that means you broke their will in the game. You broke their will. They quit. They quit. They don't want to play anymore. When this guy went up 2-0 with those 2 home runs, I think in the first inning, I didn't want to play anymore either. But I am videotaping. I should just say videotaping. No one's actually watching these, which is fine. It's just, I guess, a hobby that makes us a little more meaningful and interesting. And an avenue to allow me to talk about the Tao of baseball, talk a little bit of philosophy, talk about Miyamoto Musashi, talk about baseball, and to talk about baseball, which I like very much. But because I'm also, but I'm basically recording these, someone may one day stumble upon these videos. Very likely at some point, somebody will. And so we'll have a record. So these are basically, we're streaming them live, but they're basically recordings because at least for now, they'll be saved on YouTube. So I can't just quit, right? I can't be talking about Taoism and how to approach, how to approach losing, which I can't believe we're 3-0 in this thing so far. Can't believe I had to play such a difficult player there, though. I've had to play each of the. I'm 3-0, and I'm quite certain each time we went up against somebody who was better than us. But we use savviness. I mean, I should be a little careful. It feels funny saying that. I don't mean to brag. I don't want to brag. I don't feel like I have a lot to brag about. I'm a 52-year-old man streaming a video game. But victory. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my day. I'll probably play another game later today because I do want to see if we could play 6 games, which is making me play one more game than usual. Yeah, it makes me play one more game than usual. So I do want to go see if we will probably play a game when I come back from my Sunday hike.